Geelong Arts Centre. Project is the completion of a process that started in 2007 when GPAC, as it was then, had a vision for revamping a nearly 40-year-old facility. In fact, the existing playhouse is 1920s building. It's still embedded in the building. The project was to provide 2 new theatres, upgrade all of the back-of house, do compliance works in the existing theatre. We also explored what the church could be used for, and then later on, through some advocacy work, to do the lanes and exterior spaces as well. They weren't actually part of the upgrades, weren't part of the original project. The site itself has been a part of performance and gathering for, for 40,000 years. The area, this little area here, is actually a basin with a number of creeks running into it, which is a very important part of Wadawurrung culture, the location, and in fact that's why the park is there, because it was essentially a wetland. And then the old church and the original Masonic Hall, which is 1880s, has been burnt down. They built in 1920 a new hall, which is actually still in what the playhouse is also very important in the history of Geelong. So from the point of view of what would drive and what thematics we could bring to the process as a significance of the place, really, I guess, sort of directed us in how the design would be done. We actually, from very early on, started to work with the Wadawurrung and talk to them about the thematics for the overall design, and they actually came up with this idea for the building, which is this sort of rise of the ochre country down at ground level, then the mid-levels of Moona Forest and the upper levels of Sky Country, and then the very top night country. And those thematics they gave to us, those narratives, we then turned into aspects of the building. We also then ran a process of working with artists from very early on, and the artists are actually contributed to the design, essentially made the design, and then we added the technical skill to turn it into physical things. Kate James' amazing works that were then used as the exterior cladding. She is a fantastic artist. And the interesting thing about this is, as a Wadawurrung, but as a contemporary artist, we were really keen on this idea of actually getting a contemporary voice in, as well as the continuous narrative of the location. That top drawing is us trying to work out how to lay out those panels. Taran Love, again a Wadawurrung artist who did a more traditional narrative about ancestry and the continuity of ancestry, which are then turned into the panelling. She'd never worked at this sort of scale before, so she came into the office and worked with us to turn the whole of the interior of the 500 Theatre into this series of statements about ancestors. We also worked with the Wadawurrung to establish these themes of the Moona Forest and the panelling, in the carpet, and in the in other aspects of the design. The other part of the narrative is the tradition of performance, and the building as being a performance space as part of Western culture, but all of the diverse aspects of performance, not just theatre. It's also our experience of performance as circus, or the great tradition of the boxing tent in Australia, or the mosh pit. So all of those things are then brought together into the design. It's a very quick sort of just demonstration of how those things are assembled, and that idea of the whole design being a campus, activation of the street level and welcoming nature of it, so that when you come in, the foyer is actually the cafe. So when you walk in, you walk into an active space. It's not just a dead foyer. And these are sort of spaces that are articulated through the walk through the foyer as RSL maybe. Or they also had part of that brief that they wanted an area as an exhibition and gallery space. So the foyer is actually just split like a set. So this is the one set, and you walk into the other set. Very flexible 250 seat theatre, a different sort of theatre like a warehouse, which is used, you can see, as markets. It's also open-upable to the street through these huge doors. There's a black door and a glass door, so it can work either you can see in or you can open it right up. And that's it being used as a market. And lots of different ways to lay that out. That's it, it's being used as a gallery. Up to level one, when you walk up through level one, the stair, kind of funfair stair, or Geoponte. Geoponte is funfair, maybe. The tent, the foyer is sort of this sort of festive quality that we wanted to bring to the whole interior. All of the spaces are rigged technically, so they've got all backboning for performance and also rigging. So all of the foyers are made so that you can actually put performance on 2 minutes. Whoa. The theatre is also incredibly technical in terms of its flexibility. It can be used as a 900 person mosh pit or a 500 seat ordinary theatre. Back of house sort of narratives around the green room, our non-gendered toilets. That was quite a controversial thing, and how that would work both in layout and also as where you wash your hands as a public space. The link through to the stage 2, the Hassel section on Ryrie Street, and then the streets around. There's that opening up of the front for a performance, the plaza. The streets were upgraded. Atchison Place is a new street that was built. It's actually moved from the middle of the building to the outside of the building. The courtyard itself, we even got some old pylons to pick up on Geelong's waterfront history and got the barnacles on them. If you go there, you'll see they've still got the barnacles on them. And Police Lane, even to the extent that that's a loading dock there, to get that sort of, because the building's kind of seen in the round as by pedestrians and people who walk through Ryrie Street to Little Mallet. That's the upgrade there that was done with TCL and with the Wadawurrung people. We just took old posters that that's it.
30 seconds, sorry.
Took old posters from GPAC and put them on the wall. Making all these things is pretty, we used local glass, we used the skills of the GRC, we even worked with Godfrey Hirst to use their carpet making. We designed the carpets and essentially taught them how to do pattern carpet, which they didn't normally do because they just do commercial carpets. But likewise with the Werribee, it's 8 minutes, Werribee joinery and